So there's a few things that happened to me after my initial declutter when I stopped buying things that I don't need. Now, emphasis is on need because remember, most of the stuff that we buy in life is a want and not a need. Now, immediately off the top of my head, I can mention three phases that I went through. One is uncomfortable because when you walk into a shop with a grocery list or into a mall and you're there to browse for a morning, an hour or two, and you don't need anything, it becomes uncomfortable to say to yourself, I don't need this. I'm not going to buy anything. That for me to break that initial habit was very difficult. The second thing that I went through was I went through this peaceful phase. I can easily, even today, go into a mall and spend hours fitting on clothes and browsing and laying out decor for a space and then happily put it all away and walk away until that space is ready or until I need to replace a specific clothing item. So that peaceful phase that comes after the initial discomfort is a very nice space to be in. And then there's also this uncertain phase that I fluctuate through. So that is something between the uncomfortable and the peaceful phase. It's this stage between I want to, but I don't need to. And that is the third one. If you want to have a summary of what the video is about, those are the top three phases that you will go through when you stop buying things that you don't need. Now, the first thing that happened to me was I started noticing buying patterns. When do I buy when I'm bored? When do I buy for a dopamine hit? When do I buy for a reward? Or when do I buy out of stress? Those are the top reasons why people buy things. And even in gift giving, when I decided I'm not going to start spending money on gifts or I'm going to stop spending money on gifts, I will much rather invest in an experience with you or I will give you a plant. I don't like to gift food any longer because I'm so particular with what I eat. I don't like that. So I'd much rather gift experiences or plants. And then the most money I spend on is a pretty pot for, the plant to go into. But when you start noticing your shopping pattern, your buying pattern, it's not comfortable. That initial phase after you declutter and you've worked through your stockpile of millions of things that you've hoarded over the years that you now corralled into one space. For me, it was cream. It was body cream and hand cream. I had so many creams. It literally almost took me, I would easily say 3 years to work through my stockpile of cream. Now, when that was finished, to this day, I only replace what I want. Then, another thing that I notice is that you become extremely grateful for the items that you do have. Now, there can be two reasons for that. One, when I did my initial declutter, we still were under some financial strain, and I was so happy to uncover all these toothpastes and hand creams so that I didn't have to go and rebuy them. A lot of times it was actually some relief on my budget because I didn't need to buy something that was usually a need on my grocery list. Like, once a month, come payday, you buy washing powder. Whether you need it or not, that is your once a month purchase. And when I decided I'm not going to buy something until I run out of it, that actually took a lot of strain off my budget. I was still uncomfortable, but I became grateful, especially in those early months, for the things that I actually do have. Then the third thing that happened when I stopped buying things that I don't need was decision fatigue. When I walk around, especially in the peaceful phase, I don't have to worry about should I get it? Can I get it? Will it look good in the space? Or where will I store it? Can I afford it? Will I be able to return it? None of those, even in my wardrobe. When I go into my wardrobe, I like every single item that's in there. And if I put it on, I feel good in it. So I never have to worry, will I feel good in it? Will I feel fat in it? Will it fit me? No, I don't have any of those decisions to make because I know for a fact that when I buy something, I know what the function of that item is. I know where it will live and I know what it'll be used for. That's the same as having a function, right? Same with my wardrobe. When I go in there, every single item in my wardrobe in my current life season fits. Yes, I have bins for when I'm bigger, and yes, I have bins for when I'm smaller. But right now, what's accessible to me is what fits. Whether it's for summer, whether it's for winter. Oh, in Dubai, you only have one season. It's hot and very hot. That's a nice way of putting it, right? But you know, or I know when I go into my wardrobe, I have no decision fatigue there. That means I have a lot more mental capacity left for my family and for things that come up during a day that I need to problem solve. When I was working an office job as a bookkeeper, there's a lot of information that starts passing through your hands and people asking for things. There's a lot of info that you have to carry in your head. And I had the mental capacity for it because I didn't have stuff in my house taking up that bandwidth. That made me good at my job. And then I noticed when I stopped buying things that I don't need is that my standard changed. Let's relate this to clothes. When I bring an item into my wardrobe now, it's most likely not fast fashion and sometimes not even very fashionable. Obviously, there is a degree of fashion to it because when you buy something currently in a shop, you will be in fashion, but it's not fast fashion. So, no matter how many times I wash it, whether I tumble dry it or not, it will keep its shape and it will look good long term. So the standard of the clothes that I was purchasing changed. The type of fabrics that I was using, I became more picky about. And whether it wrinkled a lot or not, I became more picky about. So replacing the couch, remember I said to you, how long was I working? Let's be realistic. I think it was 5 years me and Andrew looked and saved for a couch until we finally bought one. And when we bought one, we decided to buy it at one of the best shops in South Africa. Why? Because 20 years from now, if that couch cover started looking tired, I could go to them and say, this is my couch model. Can you make me a new cover? Those kind of things. Even a different color, it doesn't even have to stay the same color after many years. But that was what we decided to do, was invest in a decent furniture piece that will stand the test of time. And that's what I mean with your standards change. When you do bring in a fast item that won't last long, it's your choice. It's by choice. It's not that you have to. It's because you choose to. And that's a completely different ballgame. As an intentional living coach, I love talking to women and showing them how they can slow down to live in each day and not just tick off the to-dos on their list, to become intentional with their next step and with their next move. So when something happens, spectacular, magical with the kids, or your husband comes home after a hard day, that you have the bandwidth and the energy to pour into them. If you like this message, please consider subscribing, liking this video, commenting on this video. You have no idea how much this helped my channel out. And if you have a friend that you think can do with this type of message, share this video because I would love to have her in the community. And to all the new people that joined my channel recently, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with me. Then you have a season where I am now, which is slightly uncomfortable. Currently, I live in my house and it's very practical. My house in Dubai, not yet my sister's house in South Africa. My house in Dubai is a standard, not even a very large studio apartment. It's functional. I have a bed, I have a table, and I have a bathroom and a decent sized kitchen for that space. The problem is it doesn't feel like home. It doesn't feel cozy. I want to bring in things that will make it feel like that. But the reality is, how long are we going to be in the space? How long are we going to be in Dubai? Are we going to be in the same situation where we're going to have to leave a lot of things behind when we finally leave the country? So those are all things that's up in the air. And I'm going to have to make a decision to just, it is what it is, make the place cozy, or it is what it is and keep it functional and rather focus on the practicality of the space and who I live with in that space and how that space functions for my routines and my current season, rather than it making me feel, my house makes me feel safe in any case, unless there's a bomb going off above my head. But instead of focusing on, having a lounging couch and a blanket over your legs and a nice cozy nook to watch TV or read a book in, so instead of focusing on those, we focus on the practicality of it. So that is the uncomfortable stage that I'm talking about. Let's say you rearrange your furniture in your lounge because you need a fresh look and you're fluffing up your pillows and you go, I can rearrange this furniture all the way I want to. I won't be able to make it look good because my pillows are tired. My throw pillows are tired. The blankets that I'm using are tired. None of these are really matching. None of this is really my style any longer. So you start tugging and pulling at yourself like, I don't need new pillows. I have pillows. I have throw blankets. I want I want them because I want my space to feel like a hug and cozy and welcoming. My advice would be, if you have money available on your budget and it's not a stretch for you, by all means, go get yourself something new. If you don't, see if you have an old not pillowcase, an old bed sheet or old blanket that you can maybe repurpose into new pillow covers. Otherwise, just live with it for now. The time will come, even for your birthday or Christmas, and some women might not be happy with this advice. You can ask people for a gift voucher to a specific shop because you want to go and replace those items for yourself. I love home decor um, for birthday and Christmas gifts. I know not everybody is like that, but that leaves me with the very last thing. With the very last thing that I noticed when I stopped buying things that I don't need, and that relates back to my budget. 100% it saves you money. If you only buy what you need, you will be surprised to see how long the stuff that you have actually lasts. There's not much more that I can say about that. I can't elaborate on that statement because it's self explanatory. You save money if you stop wasting it on stuff in general, whether it's pretty stuff, whether it's new makeup. If you had makeup that worked for you, then why did you need new makeup? If you have 5 shirts in your cupboard and they all look good, why do you need a sixth one? For me, that is the few things that I noticed when I stopped buying stuff that I didn't need. Is there anything that I left out? Can you elaborate on feelings or emotions? If you've been decluttering and you stop buying, even going on to maybe a bit more of a tighter budget and living more frugally, is there advice that you can leave, or is there something that you're experiencing that I haven't experienced? And that's that. So, guys, until next time, take care of you. Bye.
I don't think so. No, 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 no.